Hi everyone and welcome back to another video. Sorry I'm very backlit, but I am going to be starting this reading vlog because I'm in a reading slump and I need to get out of it. So I thought doing this reading vlog would help because I haven't vlogged in a very long time. I just filmed 2 videos, which felt weird because I haven't done that in a long time as well. So yes, I am just going to be reading some books that hopefully I will enjoy, and hopefully by the end of this video I'll be out of my reading slump. I'm not going to set a TBR because that will just make the reading slump worse when I'm a mood reader. So hopefully I can get us through some of my physical books, and also hopefully I can get out of this reading slump. So yeah, I'm just going to go and choose a book to read, start reading it, and I'll give you all an update when I have one. Okay, so I just want to say I'm sorry for this bad angle, but it's the best I can do at the moment. But I just wanted to give it an update because I did start a book and I did finish a book, but I forgot to, update as I was reading it because one, I forgot I was doing this video, but also two, I just wanted to read it because I was really intrigued. So I read The Locked Door by Freida McFadden. I rated it 3.75 stars. I found it interesting. I wanted to know what happens, and it was, like I said, it was interesting me. But the only issue that I had was there was times where it was dragging on a bit, where I felt like, there was some things that didn't need to be done. There was some things where I was just like, this don't need to be in here. It's dragging on. But I mean, I don't know. I still liked it. 3.75 stars is not a bad rating. Some people might think it is, but for my rating system it isn't. It's actually a good rating. So if you don't know what this book is about, it is about this woman, and she is, I think she's a surgeon, and when she was younger, her father was sent to prison because he was killing women in the basement, and she didn't know at the time, and then she did because he got arrested. And then many years later, she's now a surgeon, and murders are happening the exact same way her father used to murder the women. And so, she's confused, and she's got to figure out, like, who's doing this, why they're doing it, how do they know who she is, and it's all of that. So it is very interesting. I would highly recommend it because it's very intriguing, and it has helped me get on my reading slump a bit, which obviously was the goal. Freida McFadden's books especially normally help, but also thrillers normally help me anyway because I just end up binge reading them. Obviously I want to know what happens. So, and they're normally fast, easy reads for me personally. So yeah, that was that book. I'm sorry I forgot to update, but now I'm going to start Part of Your World. Depending on whether it gets me out my reading slump a little bit more, we'll see if it's the last book or not. This might not be a long video, but we'll see how it goes. Okay, so I have started Part of Your World, and I am enjoying it at the moment. The start is really interesting. I'm actually loving the start. It's quite attention grabbing already. I also find it's already moving quite quickly. I'm not that far into it. It's not a bad thing. I'm actually loving the pace. It's just happening more quickly than what it would normally be like with romance books especially. But like I said, I am intrigued. I am enjoying it at the moment. Okay, so I'm now on page 104, and I feel like the story is dragging on a little bit. I feel like it's slowed down, and I feel like there's a few things that aren't really needed at this precise minute, but I am still really liking it, and I'm just hoping it will get a little bit better. Hopefully it will move on from more of the explaining and stuff and just moving on, if that makes sense. But like I said, I'm still liking it. Okay, so I just wanted to quickly point out something. I am really loving the characters in this. I don't know why, but they just really go well together. Now, the one thing I am bothered with is the age gap. Obviously, if you've been here with me for a while, you know that I'm not a big fan when the woman is older. I don't know why. I just never really liked it that much. With this, I'm not really focusing on that. I keep forgetting, to be fair, because it doesn't really point it out much, which is something that I like, that they're not making the age gap a big deal, because to be honest, it really isn't a big deal. But the character-wise himself, Daniel, I feel like he is so sweet, very caring. He's showing how much he loves Alexis, with actions and with words. And then there's Alexis, who has been through a lot, and she was able to get herself out of that. She's very strong. She's a very strong woman, and like I said, she's been through a lot. She got herself out of it. She realised that, you know, it wasn't supposed, like, what was happening to her wasn't supposed to be happening in the way it was. This person didn't love her as, like, wasn't showing her love as someone should. And she got herself out of that and show strength. So yeah, that is just one thing that I want to point out. I also just want to point out that I do not like Neil. He's very, very annoying, and you can just tell from his vibes that he just isn't a good person. He's very manipulative. That was a weird way of saying it. And Alexis' parents also don't like, also kind of abusive. With Alexis, you know, having all these like people around her who just isn't good people, who abuse her, who have manipulated her, and you see that, and it took her so long to realise it. You know, it's sad to see. But then she met Daniel, and it's all like clicking to her. She's realised that the way Daniel's treating her is how someone who loves you and cares about you should treat you. And then all these people that she's grew up with, she's been around for ages, just aren't, you know, there for her, don't care for her the way they should, don't show her love the way that they should, and they're just not the best people to have in your lives. They're quite toxic, and I just love that representation. Another thing that I like talking about that as well is the fact that this whole book has such good representation, and I feel like it was done very well. From like what I'm reading, it's described well, and what I mean by that is the fact that it is explaining that there is more than like like with abuse. There's more than just one. Like when with some people, when they think of abuse, they mean in a relationship, they mean like physical abuse. But there's also emotional abuse that isn't talked about as often, which, you know, should be talked about more often, because that is also another major thing. And I feel like this book is doing that so well, because it's focusing on emotional abuse. It's focusing on how someone might not realise that they're being emotionally abused, but they are. Like, for example, with Alexis's relationship with Neil, he would, you know, insult the way she looks, insult the fact that she can't do anything, or tell her she can't do anything that, you know, she should be able to do, and just really put her down. Things that you wouldn't think too much about is major things. And so yeah, sorry I'm going about a rant, but I love the way that this book represents that. So anyway, yeah, I'm going to go and finish the book, and then I'll be back with you all with my last and final update. Okay, I just finished the book, last update. So I feel like this is going to be a 4-star read, and obviously, like I was saying this in the last clip, I really love it. I really love the way it represents abuse, and the way it explains it and stuff, especially emotional abuse that isn't talked about too much. But I feel like it's a 4-star read because there obviously are times where it's dragged on a bit. There's obviously like annoying characters where I got frustrated, but again, it goes with the story. I don't know, I'm just feeling good 4-star vibes. I might up it to a 4.5, I'm not sure, obviously I just finished it, but at the moment it's feeling like a 4-star. So I just wanted to point that out. One thing I also want to say is I loved the scene where Alexis proved Neil wrong, where she got Daniel to like learn her how to cook, learn her how to fix things, learn her how to do like simple things that she never got to learn throughout life, because obviously she's rich, her parents were rich, so she always had people doing them, like chefs, cleaners. She never got to learn anything about that, and that is one thing Neil always used against her, was the fact that she didn't know how to cook, she didn't know how to clean, that she wouldn't be able to live without him because he does all that stuff for her. And so Alexis got Daniel to like teach her all that stuff, and then she basically like did all of those stuff that she learned in one go and surprised Neil. And that kind of clicked in Neil's brain, that like, and her showing Neil that I don't need you, I can do this stuff myself, which was a great thing to see. Absolutely loved it. The ending was amazing as well. Like, just everything that happened. Obviously I don't want to spoil anything, but if you've read it, you know everything that happened in the ending. Absolutely loved it. It was so sweet, and just, you know, you feel proud for Alexis that she got herself out of that old situation. She's starting this new life. She's moving on to bigger and better things. She's cutting toxic people out of her life, and it's just amazing. So yes, that is the end of that book, and I feel like I am starting to get out my reading slump a bit. It's definitely not as bad as when I began this video, but I'm not fully out of it, but I feel like it's a lot better, and that was the goal for this video. Now I know I only read 2 books in this video, and it probably isn't a long video either, but you know, I just made this video for fun and to help me get out of the reading slump. But there's so many more fun videos coming very soon. But yeah, so if you watched until the end or you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave the scissor emoji to represent cutting toxic people out of your life, because that's very important. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed. If you please like and subscribe if you want. It's free, and hope to see you in my next video. Bye.